Thank you for staying with us. The Day of the African Child will be commemorated on the 16th of June 2026 under the theme Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, key essentials that continue to shape children's health, dignity and ability to learn. What does this mean on the ground and what is being done to address these challenges? I'm now joined by Children's Officer at the National Council for Children's Services, Stanley Harry. Thank you so much, Stanley, for coming to the studio.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. So the Day of the African Child being commemorated on the 16th of June. That's going to be next week, I think, on Tuesday.
Yes.
And so the Day of the African Child is very significant. But before we delve into the issues affecting the African child, maybe you can just give us a brief of what this commemoration is all about.
All right, thank you. First, my name is Stanley Harry. I'm an officer from the National Council for Children's Services, and that tells you about we do about children.
Yes.
And today, as we think about, we talk about DAC. DAC simply means the day of African child. And when you talk about this day, you want to remember why. What's the origin? What's the history and the significance of DAC, Day of African Child? First, we know that this day, the children in South Africa is 1976, when the children in South Africa protested. Actually, it's not protest. They raised issues about poor education. They were forced to do their studies and education in African language. And so it was a form of discrimination against education, the type of education that were given in the South African during the apartheid. You see, that's 1976. Yeah. So the reaction of the apartheid government was to open fire against the children, killing many and hurting many. From there came a resolution that we must think about how, whenever we think about children, protect their rights, because education is one of their rights, and that's why they were protesting. And so from there came the history of DAC, Day of African Child, commemoration of what happened in South Africa, what they usually call Soweto Rebellion in 1976. June 16th.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Stanley, for just briefing us on what the Day of the African Child is all about.
Yes.
And it's in commemoration, definitely, of the protest in 1976, as you've mentioned.
Yes.
But let's look at the theme for this year, which is sanitation, water, sanitation, and hygiene. In short, it's WASH.
Yes, WASH. Yes.
So why is this a very critical issue?
Well, in every commemoration day, there is a theme that is given by the Committee of the African Experts for Children and the Rights, and they give themes depending on the needs of the children. Every year we want to think about the children, their needs. Every year we have this theme. Now this theme for the year is WASH, like we say, because we see it's one of the needs actually and actually it's not so much of a need per se, but it's one of the rights of the children. If you go to the Convention for the Rights of the Children, in one of the pillars is WASH, that the children the governments of the world, actually it's from there, the governments of the nations of the world must provide WASH for their children for proper health and proper development of the children as one of the rights. So WASH, when we commemorate this, and I think it is to your wisdom, they say, this time you are stopping all the activities we're doing for the nations. Let's think about our children. Let's think about WASH. Give them water, sanitations, and give them, because this is one of the critical issues probably that the nation might forget, not nation, people, communities might forget. We give them food, we give them whatever, education, we are good in those, but we might forget some of those critical issues like WASH, sanitation for our girls. We will forget about, if they are not healthy, these children, if there is no hygienic environment, we don't expect this unit to go in healthy. So it is very critical part of it as a right and also as an important aspect of the development of the children.
Indeed, water, sanitation and hygiene is very important.
It is.
When it comes to even just their health and all that.
Yes.
I was recently in Bungoma, where they're dealing with neglected tropical diseases, and one of the issues there really is the water and sanitation.
Yes.
That actually is driving this, but definitely something is being done about that. But maybe you paint for us a picture. Could you give us maybe how many children are affected by WASH issues?
Well, we may not have actual data per se, but we can talk about it and say that the government is doing a lot in this area. if I may pick a little bit of it and talks about the purpose as bringing this DAC. Right now we are talking, we have a team in Marsabit, pre-DAC. And then the next thing we go in there. And when you talk about this one, we know we have an act, 2016 Act on water. That means that every child, if you look at acts, the laws themselves say that every child has a right to clean water and safe water, including sanitation and those. So even we might not have the actual data as per se, but with the law, that requires the county government, the national government, everybody, including the communities, to make sure that these children, wherever they are, they have access to safe water, drinking water, hygiene. It is all of us, not just the government, not just the data, all of us within the communities that you should be sure that children have access to these commodities, essential commodities.
Of course, collaboration, like you're putting it, is
yes,
very, very key.
Very critical.
But would you be able to tell us, like, which regions, children in which regions are most affected when it comes to...
Of course, your guess might be as good as mine. As arid areas, semi-arid areas, probably they might have not shortage for probably. But then when you come to some other places, probably the issue would be probably sanitations. When you talk about congested urban areas, those places could be suffering from, the problem might be different. However, like we are saying is that we have all these ones, the government promoting water harvest for schools so that these schools can have these accesses. We also have expanded water supply for infrastructures. We have so many of them. If I had time, I would go through a number of issues the government is doing, and probably we are not there yet. I must confess we are not there yet, but the government is doing the best we can. If I have to go through all the list that you can tell about the government doing things, we as well might swear that the children of Kenya might as well be so much accessing these commodities. Yes.
I mean, we've seen stories of, children missing school because of water issues, in different parts of the country.
Yes.
Northeastern, who are struggling with water and all that. But maybe you could just paint for us a picture. We might know, but how does this affect children's education?
Well, it does, because once the children, if children do not have access to clean water for drinking, that tells about their health. If they are sick, they are not going to go to school. It talks about if we cannot be able to provide sanitation pads for girls when they're going to school, and those it's all over. It's an issue that should be taken seriously by all stakeholders. That's another important issue. They might not go to school. So if they do not have this access to this and clean water and all those things, you are looking at a situation where you can get children sicknesses and keep them out of school. So that's why it is very essential. And I'm glad the issues, like I said, if I were to go through what the government is doing and what it has done, and still room for improvement, is that we are going to get our children back to accessing this water and sanitations and hygiene.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's something called Agenda 2063.
Yes.
And also an Africa Fit for Children, which is Kenya working towards that Agenda 2040. So what are some of the, measures that have been put, or can I say some of the developments to meet the Agenda 2063? Yes,
if I may say, I may go back first of all, start with the Act itself, for Water Act. When you have the Water Act 2016, it focuses on probably getting these children all the way to Agenda 2030, that is. And with the children who have got access to all these, to these sanitation, to water, to hygiene levels, and with all these policies being put in place, policies and laws and regulations, especially, for example, we are talking about government coordination and collaboration between all the ministries, like, for example, a ministry like health, water, and social protections. All these ministries and departments that deal with the children, they have got their work cut out, so that at least when you're going towards this one, and especially for children, including the education themselves, so that the children must be given access to this important access, so that they can be able to move towards 2030 and Agenda 2060 and African Fit for children. That means every nation, including Kenya, working towards this. We must start with this one. The policies themselves, the institutions that are held responsible for taking care of the children.
Exactly. Just talking about institutions that are held responsible. So, there's still reports, of schools not having enough toilets for children, and even hand washing facilities and all that. But the question is, who is responsible? But this is supposed to be like a multi-sectoral effort when it comes to water. So there's the Ministry of Education, but then there is also the Ministry of Water and all that, and many other stakeholders. But who is responsible for it?
Like I said, all of us, we have health, Minister of Health, we have Minister of Education, we have Ministry of the State Department for Children's Services, we have the protection, the Ministry of Water itself. This coordination that is which is being done by the government to make sure that all these ministries that are involved in taking care of the children, they have the policies. And part of it is allocation of funds to these ministries through the annual allocation of funds to the national government, to the county government. That means there is this every year an annual one giving these annual budgets for specifically for to improve water, sanitation, and hygiene to institutions. Then the institutions have a responsibility for implementation. Example, the health. Example, the education ministry. They have this one. So once the funds are released, they have a responsibility to make sure that there is washing points, there is the soap, the girls are provided with the sanitary pads. Because the professions of farming, as much as they might not be as much, including the society themselves, the communities themselves, they need to take care of their water, the resources, the ponds, the dams around them, the streams around them. All these resources must be put together by all of us. So we are all stakeholders towards this, making sure our children are safe, accessing this water, accessing the hygiene points and washing and all those, and especially in centralized institutions like the education sector.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just talking about funding, do you think probably other priorities in the education sector are taking, are being given more focus than probably WASH issues?
I'm not very sure about that because when money is allocated to institutions, it's on budgets. This is what we are going to do. We are going to buy books, we're going to pay our teachers, we're going to bring more water, we're going to talk all the stakeholders. So probably, like I said, we are not there yet. But what we are doing, including harvesting, the tanks separate to schools, and all these ones are geared towards achieving this 100% of our children to be able to achieve these amenities.
Okay. So what are some of the, you've mentioned, something is being done about the projects and all that, but are there, ways of monitoring and enforcement, to ensure that, just like the way they monitor schools, especially because we're talking about children, so monitoring of education levels and all that. So are there measures?
Oh yeah, because every year, every government institutions, we submit our reports. We assessed, we give you this amount of money, and this amount of money you requested was supposed to go to this, agenda was supposed to go to this. So when we are filling our performance, see what you call the performance contract. Every institution must give their performance contract. Did you buy water? Did you buy soap? Was this sanitation things we're talking about, accessing to water, sanitations, and hygiene, should be there in their budgeting when they are given this funding. So every one of us, there is a way of government monitoring, and this one is submitted to the government through the PS and the CS are in charge of those ministries. So every year, you see, for example, NCCS, we have this contract. We report and we give our reports on performance contracting, how we have done, what we have done with the funds, and if there is anything that we did, if it was not there, it cannot be budgeted. But to my knowledge, all the institutions which deal with children, sanitary, water, and hygiene is at the top list of what we may call the requirements of our budget.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like you rightly mentioned, there are monitoring and evaluation when it comes to that. But what happens? How do you hold, can I say, institutions who are not implementing these? Because we've had complaints sometimes, especially when you talk about hygiene when it comes to girls, sanitary towels and all that. What measures are there, or what is in place to hold some of these institutions accountable, if at all there is?
It is, because once you're submitting your performance, what did you do? Why didn't you do it? If you cannot perform this one, then there's no need for us funding you in this one, because you cannot do it, and you don't want to lose funding because you could not do it. Okay. So in this part of evaluation, you don't want to lose part of what you're supposed to be given for the budget because you could not do it.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the children's office, which you represent, doing to improve issues of water, sanitation, and hygiene?
Great. Right now, when you come to this one, we have two. Right now, we are doing. We have a team in Marsabit, sensitizing, and when part of the events now, the dark one, we are doing 4 things, and we take advantage of this. One, we bring all the stakeholders together: the government, the national government, the county government, UN agencies, all stakeholders. We invite them to these ones. Okay. We are inviting them to ask them to recommit themselves to protection of children. And part of protection is provisions of some of these basic things. 2, we are creating awareness. Children need clean water. Children now, for example, we have this team in Marsabit right now. The purpose of going there to tell the Marsabit communities, we are creating awareness. We are promoting advocacy. We are celebrating Miles Mead because we have done quite some well. We are not at zero. And we are not at 100, we are not at 0. So we want to look at this and say, hey, guys, why are we doing well? We have done well this one, we have been doing well this one, we need to improve this one. So celebrating progress may give us even more morale, and going back to our budgeting and says, hey, we need more money. So the last one is that we're mobilizing these stakeholders. When you're mobilizing stakeholders, you tell them, whatever you are doing, you want to look at this issue for children. Access to water, access to sanitation, access to hygiene is not an option. And so we mobilize all these ones. The part of it is this one.
Okay.
Right now they're doing a lot of advocacy there and a lot of creating of awareness. Yes.
Thank you so much, Stanley, for coming into the studio and just, elaborating for us what is happening in as far as the Day of the African Child is concerned. I just want to give you a few seconds to tell us what to expect on Tuesday in as far as the Day of the African Child is concerned.
This Tuesday we are doing launching, but the celebration is coming on 19th.
Okay.
So we have the pre-DAC this Tuesday on 9th. This is like an awareness opening. It's like an advertisement. We are coming and we are calling all the nation to now stop. Stop your busy schedules. The nation, now you must stop. Let's think about our children. We create awareness and we tell them now, those who can do something little, those who can harvest water, those who can do whatever they can do to want their children. Children, we see this, children business is everybody's business, in community, in everybody. And sometimes we don't want to see us keep on saying it's the government. Who is the government? It is the media. It is all us. We create awareness, and until this child access this one, the little we can from the communities. This is what we expect to see from Tuesday. These guys are going there, they are creating awareness, they are promoting advocacy, they are celebrating, and then from there, we allow the celebration will be in Homabay County. The same thing we want. We have got nothing else we want to, is just tell people, here are our children, we have a responsibility.
Thank you so much, Stanley.
Thank you so much.
Like they say, our children, our future. That was Stanley Harry, Children's Officer at the National Council for Children's Services, speaking to us on the Day of the African Child, whose theme is water, sanitation, and hygiene.